Hello, hello. One moment. Still getting set up here. Alrighty. Good to go. Most part. Alright, so go ahead and pull up Unity here. Alright, so get the roadmap up as well. There we go. What's up? Just a quick review here. Alright, so we are currently in phase 1. We've got a multi-biome map working. We have an underworld area and a few overworld areas. I'll finalize that before I exit phase 2, or phase 1 and go in phase 2. But today we're working on, let's see here, let me get my shape indicator, my shape drawer. Today we're working on this. Been working on this a little bit this morning, a little bit this afternoon, and most of yesterday and over the weekend. And we'll take a look at that here. Fire this up. This is all very basic right now. It is functioning, but it is very basic. Get it designed eventually, but right now I'm still working on the integration and just getting things put together so that we can start using them, testing them. Come on, Unity. I'm running this off of an external hard drive right now because I'm not quite ready to like primary on this project. I've got another project I'm primarily working on, and I'm getting ready to go into early access with it on March 17 as of right now. So that project is still the main focus, and when this is ready to be moved over to my primary drive, I'll do that. Alright, so look at some weapons here. Pick up a rifle. I'll need to fix that. Still working on some stuff. Got Rarity working. Got some custom icons in here. Need to fix the braking on the crates. Evening. Jesse Causey, you're new to this game. Ha, very funny. Still some work to do on the indicators there. I've got a very basic version of that working. Alright, so my stuff is working. Store this in here. I'm not sure what the hell is for. Health packs and ammo does work. It is functioning. Nice. Not sure how much of a gamer your girlfriend is, but always nice to have people check out the work. Oh, I should probably pick this up. I don't quite have these weapons tied into the inventory system just yet, and I need to get a weapons and like gear loadout screen running. But yes, that's floating. Please ignore that. You've played the current tech demo up on the Google Drive. This environment is very, very different from the one that's on that drive. Oh, the universe bless whoever. I know who made it, but I hope the universe blesses them with great fortune, because the person who made this triplanar terrain shader with parallax, or not parallax, displacement and tessellation did a really good job. Tell her I said thank you. Worked pretty hard to make this thing look as good as it does. Granted, I am using a few assets here and there, but even though I am using assets, it still takes a lot of work to get this all harmonized together. I have to change holster positions on this stuff. I don't like where the sword goes is okay, but it needs to be adjusted. The rifle is underneath the backpack. It needs to be like attached to the side of it. And the pistol, I don't really like where the pistol is. Is it not the same quality? More or less, I think they're the same model, but they're managed a little bit better in this build. It's just the look. Basically, it's supposed to be like a machete. Oh, come on. Get out of that. Discuss ideas on holster placement in the Discord, where I'm not going to lose my chat history. Don't have fall damage implemented yet. I will probably leave it unimplemented for the time being. But pause this right quick. Take a quick look at some of the biomes. Come on. Go. Stop play mode. Turn off our gizmos. If you leave the gizmos on, it'll just rob you of performance, especially when you have a lot of things in the scene. I was able to push this out to 40 kilometers play space. Able to join the voice chat as a random person who definitely doesn't work as the voiceover director. I don't have a voice chat channel going for this just yet. Like, there isn't like a publicly available voice chat channel to join in on for the streams. It's kind of like streaming stuff. But I mean, you could totally just like join in on the voice chat whenever you want. I mean, we may have always like if we're just chilling out, you're more than welcome to join in. BAP server. Those who don't know, there's a public like Frontiers Reach server. There's the team server where I have all the team members. But yeah, this is one of the biomes divided into two biomes. There's like the dunes, the plateau areas, which are less duney, more plateau-y. These areas which are like highlands and marshes. See the highlands. Down here is the marshes. I have it in here, though it's not like not something that you can just like access readily. But I brought this in here to sort of previs. Call right now would it interrupt your stream? No, because I've got the streamer mode on Discord, so it will block your call. Just ask your questions in the chat, or in the Discord server somewhere. There's an ideas and suggestions channel there. One of the things I was able to get done was the landing gear. This is probably one of the better examples of landing gear gotten put together. These will have like minimal VTOL capabilities, like when they're in space, kind of, where you'll have the ability to use your RCS thrusters, which are these things right here. to like move left, right, up, down. But once you're in atmosphere, they'll be less impactful. You can still use them, they're just not going to like hold you up in the air. The idea anyways. I need to get hinging on here so that we've got some hinging. Maybe add some like utility lines for aesthetics. Of course I need to get weapon systems working. This thing is more or less ready for flight rigging. I will eventually have to get a cockpit and ejection seats in here, but pretty much ready to go for flight rigging. Yeah, we can have a conversation about all of that stuff if you want. Welcome to join, be a part of it. I've got rooms laid out in here, I just don't have any, like I haven't done any work towards getting these finished up. It's been a while since I touched up this carrier. Yeah, it's all texture stretching because I haven't yet done any sort of UV layout on this. Got generic windows on here for the time being. But back to the inventory stuff. Right, so yes, I know this looks like an M16. That's primarily because I took like an M4 or M16 stock and I just like dressed it up with some weird sci-fi stuff. The idea being that this is a battery pack and these are capacitors, and so what it will do is it will store energy in these capacitors from the battery, and then when you pull the trigger, the capacitor gets emptied out and recharges from the main battery over time. Because capacitors are much more suited towards rapid can be called when, I mean, I'll probably have some other things going on, but I'll see what I can do. But yeah, but physically speaking, capacitors are much more adept at like rapid discharge. So the idea behind this rifle is that chamber would take ambient gas or through a connection some sort of xenon gas or something like that. Use the supercapacitor to fire a plasma projectile and then charge the capacitors from the main battery. So everything's basically based off of electricity and superheated gas. Similar principle here, only rather than having the capacitors externally exposed, they're stored somewhere else. Where does the heat go? Little heat dissipation fins, but I mean, I don't really put a whole lot of thought into like practical like application of this stuff. Part of its cool factor, like this is technically supposed to be a heating unit that heats up the edge of the blade. Generally speaking, when you're sitting down and doing art, you want to put, what I typically do is I put just enough thought into it to make it seem like it could be real, but not so much thought that I'm solving all of the problems for every engineering issue. I'll leave that up to someone else. Somebody else can figure out how to bring it into reality. Now, one of the things I noticed is that these crates were actually not busting open the way that I would like them to. What I'm going to do here shrink these just a little bit as a group. Set everything back to 1. What that should do is that will make them penetrate each other just a little bit. That will force them to pop outwards. Yeah, you. That, penchant that every sci-fi nerd has for wanting everything to be practically applicable. I get the urge to sometimes. Alrighty. One of the things I was working on was getting this thing set up. I think we're actually pretty much good to go on this one. Now I need to get it set up for this as well. Using a generic name, but this was a masterwork in Canon that was put together by the community board. The show Invincible, no one explains how they go FTL. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Copy that component. Paste this here. Grab the other one as well. Masterwork, hand cannon, technically where that's supposed to go. My audio is breaking up, probably. My internet sucks out here. Try to do the best I can. I also am talking from a headset microphone that doesn't have a little noise filter on it. That little foam thing around it that many headsets typically have. Let's see here. I need to configure this. These are going to be pretty much generic. Generic setup here. Masterwork and Canon. Custom job. A custom built weapon, an elegant design for a modern era of mercenaries. Mercenary work out on frontier. Alright. Give this ID of 2000. We want this to be a legendary rarity. Weapon item. Nice. Whoop. Now when we pick this up, we should see it inside of the menu system. Go ahead and add our overrides. We do the same thing over here. The Pelu basic. The Pelu is Hawaiian, or excuse me, Samoan, for machete. We're going to set this to uncommon. Thermoblade. A sharp and deadly short blade created for close-up work and clearing brush, moving through densely vegetated areas on alien worlds. I forgot to get a render of this. We'll leave it as is for the time being. And save. Sure we add our overrides here. Save it again. Change something else. Back here, turn off the play. Alright. I have to fix the alignment of this because it's going to look weird. And it's still not busting open the way I would like. Frustrating. Nice. So they're all showing up in... Obviously I need to change the icon on this, but they're all showing up in the, now. Ah. There's a bit of a duplication bug there, I'll have to fix that. Yep. Someone just saying pew for testing. Well, there's a generic sound that just sort of like came with the kit that I'm using for this whole thing. That's kind of what's in there right now. What these little dots here are. I'm not sure what those are. I don't have them on this one. But I do have it on this one. Might be an artifact in the image, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. How will I avoid cheating in multiplayer? Well, I'm not planning any sort of PvP, or not planning any sort of PvP mode. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm basically looking to go the Ark Survival Evolved route, which should mean high modability even to the point of cheating. But that also assumes that I can actually get to a point to where, like, I can even facilitate modding. Rigid body on this. Here. Damping factor that affects how this body resists linear motion. Let's just set that to 0 and see if that fixes it. These boxes should, like, float a little bit. I may need to put in some sort of explosive force, but I'm trying not to do a whole lot of the whole physics thing on something like this. Manage to mod anything nowadays without developer assistance. Yeah, just about. I mean, Reshade is a good example. People basically changing the entire rendering finish on a game without even like any kind of access to the actual game project files. I think they actually go into like the render buffer and change all that stuff. So some of this music is AI generated and some of it is composed by a person that I've worked with in the past. Most of the techno stuff, synthwave or whatever it is that people call it, most of that is AI generated. I do use some AI generated stuff here and there. If I had more money, I would hire more people, but considering I do most of my game development by myself, I do what I can to keep things moving forward on my really, really constrained budgets. Alright, so that didn't quite work the way that I was hoping it would. So I'm not going to do any more work to try and get that to do what I want it to do. I'm just going to let it do its thing. And then I'll come back to that and not make that the focus of the video. Called development after all. I gotta make a hinged version so that I can replace the generic treasure chest here. Even if it's only ever gonna be a dev tool, I still want to replace this generic treasure chest. Cosmic Warrior song? Yeah, that was AI generated. I actually will sit down with this AI music generation service I use, and usually over the course of an hour or two, I'm able to get something out of the AI generation tool that sounds decent. Like the song that you're listening to right now is AI generated. I use Udio for the music. There be suit customizability and a single multiplayer will campaign be fully voiced. Um, the campaign will probably not be fully voiced unless something changes on the money front. What I'll probably do is like use voiceover in key areas and then concise text in everywhere else. As for customizing your suit, yeah, I do have plans for like multiple armor sets, and I'm probably going to go something similar to the Warframe route, where you'll get a set of armor and it will basically be worthless until you start adding mods to it. And the modifications that you add to your armor is basically what powers it. Same thing with the guns. Most of the stuff that you pick up is going to be utterly useless until you start modding it. Some things, obviously, like rarity, is going to have an impact. Like a legendary rifle will have just overall better stats than a common rifle, period. I will need to fix that, because that's inside out. Oh, the joys. Alright. So, let's see here. I need to render out an image for this Sapelu basic. But I also need to... What we don't want this thing going straight to the weapon holster. We want it to go to the backpack first, and then we'll equip it. Same thing here. Weapon holster right, we don't want it to go there. Fully voiced player character. A fully voiced player character would be nice, but I'm not afraid. I'm not bothered if I have to go the No Man's Sky route and use a lot of text. Obviously, we're not going to use mumbles and gibberish, because I think that will be. I think using the mumbles and gibberish is something we're not going to get away with. Find a way to fund it. I am too. I've got 2 places where I can possibly get funding. I have to build pitch decks, but to get to the point to where I can actually build the pitch decks, I need to have a little bit more progress on the tech demo, which is basically what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to get the tech demo to a point where it is functional. So those are still going to... I'll also have to work this out, because ideally we would have all three of these equipped and each one would go to a different holster. I gotcha. Well, I appreciate the effort, man. Really do. I'll have to figure out how to get this functioning the way that I need it to function. Because ideally we have 3 weapons that are accessible on our person at any one point in time. That would be the melee weapon, a sidearm, and a primary weapon. The primary weapon could be swapped out with anything, as well as the sidearm. So like if you equipped a... because ideally it would be more about the size of the weapon, not necessarily the type of weapon. So like your sidearm could technically be I gotta get this fixed. Cause like trying to play guitar right here. Like you could swap out your hand cannon for like an Uzi or something that's like an Uzi. In fact, there's already a design for something that looks like a space Uzi. Space Uzi / grease gun. Item pick. We already know, we've got that. Just want it to go to the backpack and not necessarily step on to the person immediately. Let's go over here. Got some reference items I can look at here. Weapon equip. Before I go any further, I need to fix this in the player's hands for the time being. Probably gonna have to fix this again later, but I imagine I'm probably not going to move forward with this rigged character. Zero all of those out. These things almost never fit perfectly, so you kind of have to find the best possible position and then sort of like learn to live with it. Copy. Paste. We're basically going to paste all of this data in here, and then we're going to hit apply. Want this to be part of the Republic Rifle variant. Male and female player character, I can definitely get both voices. Yeah, that'd be nice. I just have to have a female character model, and I don't have that right now. Like, I've had other people suggest to me, hey, get a male and female character, and it's like, I didn't make this character. Like, this is, like, I made the gear for it, but the character itself is like, this is a Formula 1 driver character I pulled off the asset store and then retextured it and attached some equipment to it. So I don't actually have a female character that's just ready to go out of the box. And the few times that I've gotten female characters, they were either they either just didn't look like a hardened mercenary, or didn't have a sort of space suit look to them, or the rig was just like not in a good spot where I could functionally use it. And that's another problem, is like anything that I get in terms of characters rigged for animation, they have to be like ready to be animated with a humanoid rig. Otherwise, Unity won't recognize it, and I can't actually use it for the character animation system. This is another one of those areas where, like, it'd be great to have more money. Unfortunately, I just don't have the kind of money I need to be able to hit every single possible vector. And I'm not a character artist, and it's been a really long time since I've done any sort of character modeling work, so and the character artist that I have on my team, he doesn't have full access to his tool set right now, and when I can get him to like work and get things done, he's usually focused on his projects and not on mine. That's ideally where he needs to be anyways, focusing on his stuff. Let's see here. Need to figure out, it might be on equip weapon, on holster, advanced, puts, holsters, self-store, store active, current active weapon to its own holster. External, not quite. Yeah, they could. They could share the same model. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't have any lines for male or female right now either, so it's kind of like not a primary concern. But it will become a concern eventually. I gotta get through integrating the inventory system and then finishing out the vehicle rigs. just to sort of show off where we are with vehicle rigs. Duplicate this and align with view. So I have just a silly little mock-up vehicle here. About 6 months. Well, I'll need to get some writing done eventually. Problem is, I just don't have to like have a character speak right now. Heavy German or European? Yeah, that'd be fine. Perfectly fine. Don't have any, like, getting the voiceover is great. I'll just have to come up with some lines, because like right now I don't have anything for them. Now I do have a shopkeeper, so there will be some shopkeeper interactions that will have to happen once I get the shops implemented, but I think that's phase 3? Might be phase 2. I'll have to look at the roadmap again. Now the terrain shader that I'm using does actually support vehicle tracks, but that's another thing that will take time to get integrated. Oh goodness. Had a little bit of a frame hang up there. Hello, Jim J. Driving around in a test vehicle right now. Where I am. Kind of showing this off. Showing the terrain off. I have a concept for a proper Jeep type vehicle. I just need to get it modeled and then get it rigged up into this thing. Trying to get all of this ready for the next tech demo update, so calling it the Terrain Explorer, but I think I'm going to change that name to just Tech Demo. The original idea was that, you know, you're just going to like come out here and explore the terrain, but now that I'm actually working on a proper tech demo, I want to make the tech demo available to as many people as possible so that we can, one, do as much testing as possible, and then two, get as many people into it, experiencing it as possible, and sort of like just playing with it and getting a feel for the universe. So the next update I put out for, or the next version I put out of this will be the actual, like, first iteration of the tech demo. I will probably play with some of these parameters a little more, because I'd like for this to feel a little bit more like an off-roading experience, where you're like hopping over some of these hills a little bit. Chose this one because it felt most like a derivative of the Warthog from Halo. Pistol holster ideas. Alright, I'll check them out, definitely. Anything you have for like ideas, like just drop it in the Discord. I'll definitely check it out. I'm gonna probably have a full schedule. Like tomorrow, I have to go. Going to go, possibly look at a job. It'll be like a second shift job. I'm not expecting to get it, but someone sent it to me because they were looking out for me. So I'm gonna at least do my due diligence and show up and check it out. You know what, running this off of an external hard drive is not a smooth experience, but not quite ready to move this off of the external hard drive just yet. Being able to traverse this terrain with a wheeled vehicle, like, really just sort of changes things. Quite drastically, actually. I do have some enemies in here, actually. I just don't have them, like, anywhere where they're gonna shoot at you anytime soon. Not in this version, at least. Whoa, I ran into something. Not paying attention. Don't stream and drive, kids. Trying to get over this mountain so we can go look at the desert and dune area. And get a better look at the marshes from up top. Oh, am I stuck? Oh, I'm stuck. Shall proceed on foot. Happens in real life too, actually. Really want to fix that gas giant texture. In an ideal scenario, I would just replace that texture with a procedurally generated texture. But I don't know if I'm quite at that point where I can actually, like, do that just yet, because that's problem solving a whole other system. Again, no money to do that, so or to hire someone else, so I gotta do it myself. Alright, so we're starting to get into the desert here. These plants right here, these will eventually be harvestable. You'll be able to walk up to them, press like the E key, and harvest something from them. Really want to get to the top of this ridge. There will be an animation to probably harvest. I'm going to probably stick with as few animation additions for the time being, and then eventually I'll start adding more custom animations. Daybellies to the Walmart store? Not sure I understand. I think we're getting pretty close to the cloud layer. There's actually a start to the cloud layer, and I think that line that you just saw right there, I think that was it. A little bit of a sampling issue there. Alrighty, I'll catch you later, man. Sleep good. Bleh, sleep tight. And get to the other side of this mountain. Probably not worth it. I don't know, we'll see. See when I get over there. Can punch and kick. Yeah. Alright, let's keep going. Alright. There's the desert. That was worth it. least as far as I'm concerned. Like a legit desert. This is a standard glider that comes with the plugin that I'm using for character movement. I do intend on swapping it out eventually. Had some discussion in the Discord, Frontiers Reach Discord, about how best to approach swapping this out for something else. Just a little too Zelda / Fortnite for my taste. Definitely need something that looks and feels a lot more like Frontiers Reach style content. I also want to speed this up because this is painfully slow. I feel like it should definitely be a lot faster. And we are officially in the desert. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and kill the stream there for the night. Thanks for tuning in, everybody who tuned in. Hope to see you next time. Till then.